Flyover state of film was shot in front of a live studio audience.
Oh, and then she whips out a dagger, and the fucking dagger has a thing out of it, and she points it at the fucking wreckage as if it's not gonna go underwater at any fucking moment. Who the fuck
I
decided
think you're spoiling it for TJ. These are integral plot points. These are deep lore Jedi canon. Just because you didn't read the books and all the tie-ins, that's not our fault. You should have to do homework to make a movie work. A movie doesn't have to just be good on its own merits. You should have to watch it and then do homework to make it make sense.
Not even just watch it. Get comic books.
I just imagine somebody standing outside the wreckage and just like drawing out the dagger so it perfectly matches.
It was that guy who like fell in a hole on his way to his ship and got eaten by a snake or something. There's a lot going. There's so much to unpack there. We should really start the show, guys.
Oh yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to the Flyover film. First show of 2020. New Year, same shit. The world is ending outside. Puerto Rico is shaking. Australia's on fire. World War III may start at any moment, but we're gonna talk movies.
Yeah, but we got fresh memes.
Hey guys, talk about an unwanted sequel. Am I right? Oh God, World War III.
Oh, Jed.
I apologize for my raspy voice. I'm drinking some hot, spicy ginger tea to cool down my throat. And speaking of hot, we got Joe with us coming back all the way. Speaking of spicy, we got Brian with his spicy tick. And speaking of ginger, you got that guy over there.
Still here. Hey guys.
Hey, Jusef, can you actually talk into the mic a little more?
You're a little low. Clean up.
I mean, it's my beat. That's all I got.
You're supposed to be hosting this thing.
Jeez, man.
We're all gonna have to bring our energy down to your level. Man.
Well, how's everyone been?
Yeah, thank you for that, Joe. I've been great. I've been dying since November 1989, and it's coming up now 29 years almost since I've always been sick. I have a sponsorship with Dayquil now. They provide with pills and lozenges, but other than that, it's been great. 2020 has been on fire. How about you guys?
I'll tell you what, I've really cut down on my drinking, so I haven't been doing that as much anymore. Not really any sponsorships, but if anyone wants to.
I think TJ was inspired by Cat Stevens and Hal Ashby to grow his beard for this episode. He's looking like he could have been on the crew of Harold and Maude.
Great movie. It was a good movie.
Oh no! Save it, TJ. Don't tease us. We want to hear your full thoughts later. Tune in, kids.
Everyone, this is going to be the most downloaded episode because of that Harold and Maude content.
Oh well, fucking yeah! Kids love that shit. They cannot wait to hear about it. That's why I like the way we teased it here at the top. But you got to listen all the way through. No timestamps. You have to get through this shit.
It'll be tied with Drowning Mona, Troll, and audition. Like it's just gonna be like all those,
those are some hot downloads.
Desirable movies that everybody's just like, when are people gonna talk about Harold and Maude? So here we are gonna talk about Harold and Maude.
In the grand tradition, I feel like this is a great sister follow-up to my work on DVD Bunker, because I had a long tradition of doing movies that no one had ever heard of, TV movies starring Parker Posey, and nobody but that's why I do that shit. So this it feels home. This feels like home to me now.
So it's been a hot minute since we've been on this internet thing. The last time we saw you guys, we were recording live on New Year's, Christmas Eve, sorry.
Yeah.
Doing our
Very
Santa.
festive.
So drunk that you can't even remember the proper holiday.
I wasn't drunk. I wasn't drinking.
Red Thunder.
So, and our previous episode, we talked about, what we liked of the decade. And now we're looking forward to the new year. We're looking forward to what's coming around the corner. Even though we're in January, where Hollywood just dumps all its shit, all its crappy movies, we're still looking forward to the good movies around the corner. And I wanted to see from my boys this culture group that loves movies like Harold and Maude. What movies are you looking forward to this year? How about you, Tia? What are you looking forward to?
Ooh, I get to start first, so I get to
spoil. How about since we're gonna do a couple each, let's do one each and
yeah.
Do a little round robin, huh?
I'm down with this. Mostly everyone, if anyone, Ryan, Stephanie, have listened to this show. I have a specific taste. There's certain movies I like, certain movies I don't like, especially this movie kind of brings me back to like the late 90s monster movie, what people have been trying to do, for a while now. But I really want to see the Kristen Stewart-led Underwater.
That's coming out like this week, isn't it?
It's a January movie, so it could be garbage dumped in January.
I agree, though. I think the trailer looks tight. I think that was cool.
Yeah, the movie looks really fun.
Yeah, there's a couple things with it. Like the first couple trailers were great, but then eventually they have to show the whatever they're supposed to be going up against. But basically, a underwater diving crew or crew who does deep water diving gets stuck underneath, obviously the water, and have to walk with like underwater suits. I've said underwater like 6 times already. But basically, there's monsters, and that's all I want—a classic underwater monster movie.
This could just very well be like a dump of a movie where they didn't seem as marketable and be pretty decent. Like January does get those also.
Do you think it's also because how recently was Kristen Stewart like, what was it, like actress of the year or something like that? Or
she was just in Charlie's Angels and that flopped, but
yeah, well, say like, how when those things happen, they just any movie with a huge name just gets like thrown out of nowhere. They're like, hey, she's in this, we get to get out now while her name's hot. So I don't know if that had anything correlation.
No, I think
Underwater.
She did it last year because she has the same haircut she had for the biopic that she did this year and the Charlie's Angels. So those 3 movies seems like all were recorded at the same time. That pixie haircut she has.
Was she like the personal shopper one, which is like a huge hit or something like that?
Yeah.
2016.
So she did her indie circuit market.
Yeah, so like there's something like that underwater. Yeah, for me, like I just want a classic monster movie and like the feel of like The Relic and Leviathan and all that stuff.
I did a DVD bunker about The Relic, guys.
You can't listen to the uncut audio now because that is off the SoundCloud.
It's in the vault now.
What about you, Joe?
How does my voice sound now?
Okay, your voice sounds much better.
Jusef, you've come to life.
My first one is also in January, and that is
we should record the whole podcast again.
Not so predictably, Bad Boys for Life. I think it looks like fun. It's probably a piece of shit.
I can't even believe you think it looks like fun. This baffles me. So, like, they literally are like, Martin Lawrence is going to retire, so we got to team you up with these young kids. Oh, they're the high-tech new crew, and you're going to be their their old man partner.
I gotta say,
then we're just gonna immediately bring back Martin Lawrence. So what is the fucking point of these people at all?
I have a soft spot for Martin Lawrence. Over the break,
I
watched all the Big Mama's houses.
This is Expendables 3 right here.
No. I'm with Joe on this one. I also think the kids and like that little side thing won't have a huge part. I think
they're there to get killed, and then he has to bring. Like I said, it's Expendables 3.
No, I think it'll be like that thing to where like at the end battle, whatever they're going up against, they'll have their the computer guy, the tech, whoever they are. But I'm more inspired the fact that they did not use a 4 in it. They just spelled 4.
Because it's the 3. They did botch the name.
Because they know they're not going to get a 4th movie. Because this shit looks like garbage.
I just like how they matched Big Mama's house with Bad Boys. And they're not even acknowledging. Like, he's wearing a fat suit for no fucking reason. And it looks amazing. I think it's going to be fun. I think Joe's right.
It's really kind of mean, man. I mean, I'm not into. Are we a fat shaming podcast now? Is that what we do? Is that what we're about?
I'm not fat shaming.
I don't endorse that. Martin Lawrence
is this Shazam?
Doughy. It's fine.
I'm fat. I can say it.
Big Mama's house still holds up. Let the record stand.
Brian, what do you want?
Well, I also love monster movies, but I'm into good ones. And there's one that is wholly underrated that came out this year. And its sequel is coming out next year. Not till November. It did get a pushback. But, baby, I'm ready for Godzilla vs. Kong.
Okay.
I think Godzilla 2014 was fine. It's like a fine movie, but both Kong Skull Island and Godzilla King of Monsters are great, fun, action monster movies. If you don't like them, you may just be time to admit to yourself that monster movies aren't your thing and like Godzilla movies aren't your thing, because this is what they are. This is 100%. Godzilla King of Monsters was like a pitch perfect modern blockbuster remake of old Godzilla movies. They mashed up so much cool shit in it, and people just didn't care. So it's like, but it doesn't matter because Godzilla and Kong is already in the pipe, so they're going to finish that shit up, and I'm still going to get it, so fuck you. You can't ruin that for me, and I'm excited.
I'm with you. I haven't seen the sequel yet, but
neither have I.
Yeah, I want to see it. It's definitely, I can't wait to see it. I'm waiting for it to drop on HBO in like a couple of weekends, I'm sure.
I love it. It's great.
It feels like a heavy rock metal wet dream.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole thing was like, how's King Kong gonna be the size of Godzilla? Because they made Godzilla so big, but they dropped that teaser poster where it's like them and like the clouds are in like shadows of like standing like toe to toe, and it's just like this. It's like Godzilla, Kong.
Well, they made Kong a lot bigger in the Kong movie, and they said he can still get bigger. They were like, he's not even full grown yet. They made a point to it.
It's like Rocky v Drago.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
And also, like, they got different skill sets. He can be a little smaller, but Kong's way more mobile. He's got more mobility and stuff like that, you know?
And the fact that Godzilla is a girthy sumbitch, you know?
Yeah, he's thick.
Girthy. He's got Martin Lawrence.
Plus, they teased, I mean, I don't want to, like, no spoilers, but there's a tease of, like, there's quite a few monsters in the world. So it's not like they have to fight only each other. It's probably that classic thing. We all are comic fans. We know the thing. You meet, you do a punch-up for a bit to test each other out, then you team up and fight some other shit that's bigger and badder than you.
And then you say Martha.
Yeah, and then you say Martha, and then you can team up against Doomsday. Yes.
Yeah.
Classic.
So I actually did pick a shitty January movie because I kind of wanted to be excited about something this month that wasn't one of the indies that got a second in a theater in LA, got nominated for an Oscar because it was the second in LA and technically came out in 2019. But I kind of want to see The Gentleman from Guy Ritchie.
You don't want to see
off the back of Man from U.N.C.L.E., yes, but not off the back of anything in the last couple of years.
I'm a sucker for a Guy Ritchie, London Irish. Not Irish. It's Matthew McConaughey is Irish. I don't know.
No, it's supposed to be.
Let's say London Mafia.
Yeah, it's like a weed deal that goes or something like that. But
that's Lock, Stock, like that's classic Guy Ritchie.
It's gonna be stylized.
I was confused for a while.
I like Guy Ritchie movies, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fan of the his Sherlock Holmes movies. I'm excited for him to finish that trilogy.
His
I thought The
his
Gentleman
king.
for a while was that prequel to.
It's the Kinman.
The
Yeah,
King's Man, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
why is McConaughey?
They are very similar looking.
Wait, the Gentleman's not in the same world as the Kingsman?
That's what I thought.
No, I'm like not trying to make a joke.
No,
That
I
No,
was
this
being
is
real
a
serious.
No, totally
it's a
separate
straight up
thing.
Guy Ritchie crime.
But I heard someone talking about today, and they were like, yeah, it's like a classic Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, where it's just like a weed heist goes bad. But I'm like, McConaughey's in a Guy Ritchie English-styled movie, like, I gotta hear that accent, unless
I was
he's
gonna say
playing.
Brad Pitt.
Oh,
Brad Pitt did it,
he's
baby.
American.
Okay, I was gonna say he's got to.
Brad Pitt did it perfectly.
Brad Pitt in Snatch that's awesome. That's a revelation.
Yeah,
that was when he was doing like he was really hitting his stride. That was like right around Fight Club time too. Like he was really killing it.
That was like the movie where like if you're like I like Fight Club, and then a movie person be like, "Yo, then let me show you this Brad Pitt movie," and then the normal person go, "I didn't know what that was."
They watched 12 Monkeys.
Yeah, that was one too.
I fucking like 12 Monkeys too.
He's a great in that one. TJ, give me another one.
Damn it. But the ones I wrote down, I gotta say, other than Joe taking Bad Boys for Life, it's all horror. So I will pick. I feel like anyone else got another
Kills. We all know how much you liked Halloween 2018.
Yeah.
You're excited for Halloween Kills, right, buddy?
Fucking no. Is anyone else picking another horror movie?
Oh, you got.
No, kind of, yeah.
No, you got free reign because if you pick something somebody else has, we just won't pick it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with the generic one then, because I'll just do like a little honorable mention at the end. But I'm gonna do. I liked this movie up until the last 5 minutes of it because it turned to like that weird action, sacrifice yourself film. I like The Quiet Place. I like fucking film. And the one thing I normally hate about like sequels of a good movie, which you don't need a sequel to, is the going back into like what happened beforehand. But I gotta say, I wouldn't mind seeing that because the trailer just came out recently and they do the whole thing where obviously it's Emily Blunt led, but it does the day one and it shows the first attacks on wherever they were living beforehand. So there's a little prequel to it.
But it doesn't look like it's going to be all that because you got Cillian Murphy in it now with a beard, you know.
That's my biggest sell.
I always love when they make Cillian Murphy grow a beard. It's like, nah, that dude still weighs 110 pounds. We all know that guy weighs 110 pounds. And the fact, like, a beard is not going to make him look like a man.
He could just think if he had one better line cell in his audition, he could have been Batman. But unfortunately became Scarecrow of Christopher Nolan. But Cillian Murphy was probably my biggest sell in that trailer. Along with it, just, give John Krasinski another shot. I like to see this. So
well directed, yeah. I mean, he definitely deserves to do this one too. I hope it's good.
I'll be honest, I have no way. I like the first one so much.
I understand that completely.
I definitely didn't want a sequel to this, but unlike when they made the sequel to Sicario, I was just like, oh, this didn't offend me by existing like that did. You know what I mean? Like when I saw this preview, I was like, okay, maybe.
At least they've kept their the same like team behind it, which is big. Like Sicario didn't.
And it seems like they shot it back to back almost.
I'm just going to bring this into the mini topic we have on this one, which we still have to go through some more picks, but I also think Quiet Place 2 is going to be a flop.
Really?
Yeah. Financially.
That is a bold prediction because I think it'll do
But is it going to be the biggest flop?
No.
Okay.
But I just thought, like, while we're talking about it, throw that in there.
You think it's going to disappoint at least?
I'm not talking about critically.
Oh, okay.
I think
you still think it's going to do numbers?
I don't think it's going to do numbers.
I'll take the opposite side of that bet because I think it's going to crush.
Okay. Ooh. Go back to the tape in like 3 months.
Oh yeah.
Roland Joe, I think it's your pick. Go ahead. I think you're up.
Oh, okay.
Tell us something else you're excited about.
Right on cue. I'm really excited for Tenet. I get excited for a new Christopher Nolan movie. I love the secrecy behind the films that he makes. They always puts together a really good cast.
You see that Tenet spells Tenet backwards?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Things are going backwards. Whoa.
And it's definitely...
I'm going to have to go rewatch that trailer now that you just dropped that insight on me. Can I subscribe to your Patreon?
But...
Yeah, can you be my friend if I give you...
If I pay you $5 a month, will you pretend to be my friend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I tell my parents I'm talking to my friends online, it's not completely fake. No, so but like most Christopher Nolan movies and most movies that I'm really excited about, I'm really gonna try to stay away from everything on it. Like I'm sold on the name and everything, and
I've seen enough in the first trailer. It's fine.
Yeah. So I don't have too much to add to that excitement for it. Also, for 3 months, I have a trial to or a gift, I should say, to AMC A List. So I'm gonna try to cram all these like things in. So it's like a movie pass type deal. So I can go see all these January releases.
I'm doing Regal Unlimited.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I trust the theater one's better because you really can't expect that to, just go under one night.
This is
I have like a Cinemark near me, but I haven't been able to justify it. It's like $8 a month, but I don't necessarily know. And it's like a one free ticket, and I go matinees, so I go cheap anyway. Like I'm always hitting that.
This is a gift.
Yeah, it's nice though. I always think about it. I'm always like, maybe.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try.
Brian, what are you gonna use your matinee ticket on?
Oh, I'm gonna go on the morning on a Sunday to see Mulan. I'm fucking stoked for Mulan. I think, I didn't give a shit about any live action remakes this year. I did see, it's weird. The only one of the 3 that came out in 2019 I saw was Dumbo. I didn't see Lion King and I didn't see Aladdin.
I think you're the only one.
Those movies made over $1 billion. I went and saw that weird fucking Dumbo movie though. But Mulan looks great. It looks like, Disney's taking a stab at that classic Chinese epic, and I think they're gonna do a pretty good job. It looks pretty great. The preview's good.
I've never seen the original animated version.
It's a good one. It's underrated, I would say, probably.
But I'm saying for like people who've seen this film, it looks like it's not one of those picture fucking just like shot.
Like it's a new thing.
Yeah,
same
doing their own.
The story's gonna still hit the same beats, but
no music really. Just they'll have the music as a background note, they say, but it's not gonna be a musical to where
it'll be that thing like in what was it? It was in Dumbo actually, where like somebody was singing around a campfire and one of the songs was the fucking, you know what I mean? It'll be that kind of shit.
Yeah, I guess they kind of
somebody will be playing a mandolin in the background or something, or a sitar, whatever they play.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mulan's gonna slap. Like that. If that's, I feel like the clearest bet of the year.
Well, I feel like, let Disney, whatever you want to say about them, as far as a corporation, they still know how to make a quality picture. They're going to bring in people to do the fight choreography is going to be good. It's going to be shot well. It's going to special effects are all going to be on point and everything.
The score's going to be effective.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
I'm with you on that. That was on my list.
What about you, Jusef? I want to look up who's directing though.
We can do that right now.
No, you're good. I picked a weird one because it kind of sold me in the theater. Like when I went to see
Nikki. Oh, I think you're gonna be really happy with the director, Jusef.
Who's that?
Nikki Caro. She did Whale Rider and The Zookeeper's Wife. So Whale Rider was a really quality movie back in 2002. Her last movie was McFarland USA, that one about track. That was like a feel good, like.
So no action.
No,
not like an action director, but that's okay because fight choreographers do a lot of action directing now anyway, and like second unit and stuff. So.
Yeah.
So the John Wick guys went from being the choreographers to directing the movies,
Yeah.
So the movie that sold me in the theater specifically, it did nothing for me in the phone, nothing for me in the computer when I saw it, but in the theater it looked fucking amazing, and that was Top Gun, Maverick. It fucking looks crazy.
Really?
Legit, like the plane sequences. They look fucking crazy, and Tom Cruise actually drove the fucking plane, and they put a camera inside, and the sound effects and everything. And I was like, fuck it, it's Tom Cruise, and I know I'm gonna get some good action out of it. And I was like, yeah, I'm sold.
I'm gonna let Brian go first on this one.
I honestly got nothing to say about it. Really, I was just like,
so disappointing.
I'm sorry, it just doesn't do anything for me, so I can't make any. I don't have any strong feelings one way or the other.
You know what? You're
the asshole that's excited about Bad Boys.
I was gonna say your pick.
That Joe took it.
Your pick of was it Top Gun 2 is the same as Bad Boys. It's that same. It's candy.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to say Top Gun's worse because it's also military propaganda at a time when we're going to be recruiting. The America wants to recruit young, dumb kids to come fight in their illegal wars. And fucking, like, there's stories where the Air Force had recruitment stations set up outside of showings of Top Gun and stuff. And I don't want, I don't want that.
Sorry, Wonder Woman 1984 then. I'm sorry.
No, that movie is on my least anticipated.
Oh, I'm sorry.
God, Wonder Woman 1984 looks so fucking dumb.
I meant you know what's going to be dumb about it is all the shit they have to put in it to get around the stuff that's already in the Justice League. Like, so now you have to make it so she goes out of her way to make sure she's never seen or uses like a forget me potion on everybody she meets. Yeah. It's like, how are they going to get around the fact that she was just out and active in the 80s and people just were like, nope, it's fine.
And also, it's just going to be like the 80s of things people didn't actually do.
Oh, I said that fucking trailer starred Gal Gadot and the Mall from Stranger Things Season 3. Like, that was the two fucking biggest things I noticed.
God, that is
TJ
like...
wants to watch that movie, though. TJ, what other movie you want to watch?
Oh, I get another one? Nice.
Yeah, we're doing 3. Come on.
Okay, cool.
I prepared 5.
This one, again, another horror movie.
I should have skipped Top Gun eventually.
I got another horror movie. This will be my last one. This one is one of those ones where you don't know what the fuck is happening in the trailer. Good actors starring in it, but nothing that's like blows you off the screen. But Antlers.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
So basically,
it's like a trailer for it, but not.
Yeah, it's like Jesse Plemons and a couple other people that aren't huge names, but it's like a kid, and it's about a psychiatrist, a kid psychiatrist, and something else in this town, and the kid has something stored in his attic, and like the trailer shows, it's like a human hybrid of like some type of monster, and it gets loose. So the kid keeps feeding it like raw meat and shit like that. And like it's just one of those movies like that. I'm sure I'm going to be disappointed.
I thought you were going to say Antebellum. That's what.
I don't even know what that is.
That's the new Jordan Peele movie.
Oh, nice.
Well, I think he's a producer though.
And did he not write too? I don't remember.
I don't know. That's kind of why the Antlers one. The only thing that worries me is like they're like leaning heavily on produced by Guillermo del Toro.
That means it'll at least have solid creature effects, though.
It has Jesse Plemons.
Jesse Plemons sells me on that though. He's like.
I don't know if it's. I think it's A24 too.
Moonface Matt Damon, really? He's your guy now?
Well, basically, it's like one of those things where it could either be like, what is that stupid horror movie that wasn't a horror movie? They Come at Night or something like that. That came out 2 years ago. What was it?
I like that movie. It Comes at Night.
It Comes at Night, but it was like heavy horror, but it's not a horror movie. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I have no opinion on it. But like, it could be the same thing as The Village too, where it sells you on something and it's something completely different. But other than that, it looks right up my alley. Monsters, attic, little kids.
Nice.
So what's up your alley, Joe?
Oh, speaking of Jordan Peele produced, I was looking at the release slate and the Candyman remake. I am very interested to see what transpires of it. It could be great or it could be terrible. But that definitely jumped off the page for me of something that.
Now, in the levels of excitement, how does that compare to your anticipation for the Chris Rock Saw reboot?
Ooh, so the Chris Rock Saw reboot. Yeah,
it's 2020.
I don't know. I can't believe it's a thing at all. Honestly,
put it this. Negative.
Who's gonna be the new Tony in Candy?
I really don't know. I'm sure the casting was announced.
Tony Todd's in it.
Reboot.
The guy who played Watchmen and he was in Black Manta.
Yeah.
He's playing the new lead. Tony Todd is in it, but I think it's like a type of thing, to where he
cameo type deal to kind of
yeah. And then it's directed by Nia DaCosta or something like that. I think she only did like something for Jordan TV wise.
I'm actually really interested to see, like, how you guys are talking about with, like, Annabelle. I'm really interested to see, like, Jordan Peele's producing efforts of what he's going to throw his, like, weight around. Like,
I saw Us.
Yeah, Us wasn't good. It was fine. And his Twilight Zone was definitely, like, a wet noodle and oversold based off of one movie. So, we'll see. I'd like to see him succeed.
Of course.
He is the new Hitchcock, you know.
But like I said on this show a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, he's getting M. Night Shyamalan, whether people like it or not.
Yeah, that's fair.
Check the tape. I don't believe he said that. Brian.
You know, I had a couple left on my list, and it was hard to narrow down which one I want to talk about. But I'm going to keep it tight and pick Death on the Nile. Kenneth Branagh's coming back. He's doing another Poirot movie. I liked the new Murder on the Orient Express. I thought it was good. I thought it looked good. I thought it had a good cast. I think this new one will have a good cast too. So I'm going to throw my hat in the ring and say I'll check that out.
It's like one of those things you probably read in elementary school. Like a book.
Yeah, it's based on Agatha Christie novels. Yeah, the Poirot character, he's like famous detective and stuff. Funny mustache.
Ooh, I like that.
Are you the one with the Kenneth Branagh toy?
Yeah, I am. I have the Kenneth Branagh toy from, absolutely, from Wild Wild West.
Good.
Hello, Will.
I got dibs on the one that me and Brian share, and that's Dune.
Yeah.
Denis Villeneuve.
And I'm not a Dune guy. Like, I know a lot of hard sci-fi nerds are like, oh man, I used to love Dune. I don't know anything about Dune the book. I don't know anything about Dune the old movie. I am strictly off the strength of Blade Runner 2049. Like, yes, give him another sci-fi franchise and let him go nuts.
Denny V is the best.
Yeah. Yeah, Dune is probably the most anticipated. Like, if you were to average people's anticipation of movies that are coming out, it's probably Dune would rank on number one for, like...
It's a weird time because, like, 2019, not only was it a huge year with, more billion-dollar movies than we've had, but it also wrapped up these two huge franchises for all intents and purposes. Marvel and Star Wars are kind of in a place where we don't know what that's going to be going forward. I mean, Black Widow's coming out, but, again, that's just a standalone Marvel movie. We don't know what's going to build from here, and it's just a weird spot. It's going to be an interesting year to see new franchises try to get a foothold, you know?
Yeah,
that's a great point. I never thought of that.
They're pushing their ships on Dune because I think they hired him for to produce a show around. I never read the book. I heard the audiobook. There's like a weird sect within the world, and they're producing a show based off that sect that controls the world, and they control kind of like the women. The women are the ones that control the world.
Fred Deakins doing this with him?
No.
No?
You mean Roger Deakins?
Roger Deakins. I think Fred Deckers.
No, he was doing.
Yeah, they're very similar, you know.
He was doing
17. That's why that looks so good.
Yeah.
Damn.
Just we need another fucking war movie. I'm like, Jesus Christ, could we be more obsessed with war?
That guy has not missed a single movie for me. Like Denny, like he's fucking 100% with.
What is it? What was it? Sicario, then Arrival.
Sicario, Arrival, Prisoners, Enemy, Incendiaries, Blade Runner.
Yeah.
I'm probably missing one, but yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely got a good enough track record that I'm excited for this. But we should talk about movies that we're not excited for. Movies that we think might...
I'm going to rattle names. In the Heights, Bill and Ted 3, West Side Story, Coming to America 2.
You're excited for Coming to America 2? Hold on.
You're excited for that Into the Heights movie, too.
Coming to America. That's it. There's no 2 at the end. Just Coming
French
to America.
Dispatch, BTA is working on a movie, and Mike Mills is working on a movie.
I'm trash, so I'm excited for The Conjuring 3. I'm excited for Many Saints of Newark, the Sopranos spin-off movie.
Yeah!
Yeah, what Brian said, actually. He just named 2.
How about Invisible Man? That's what I got.
Oh yeah, that looked good actually.
That's my biggest bomb of the year.
You're not wrong. It can be both. It can
wrong.
look like a good movie and be the biggest bomb of the year.
All right, everybody, call out the biggest bomb of the year, and we're gonna check the tape on the last episode.
Oh, I got dibs on the low hanging fruit. I'm taking New Mutants.
Oh,
Ryan has New Mutants. Who you got?
That doesn't even count. It counts. The Invisible Man.
And that's a caveat if it comes out.
Well, they're also going to tie in for their budget all of the fucking times they had to change the date on the added production budget.
I'm gonna dunk on Brian, and I'm gonna pick Doolittle.
Oh, no way. Robert
Downey.
My mom is like desperate to come see Doolittle with me and my kid. Grandmas are going to go out for Doolittle, guys.
It's not going to make up that fucking budget of 175 production only plus the marketing.
Okay, fair enough. You're right.
I'm stuck. I'm gonna drop a bomb. I'm stuck between two, but I'm gonna drop the bomb then.
Poor choice of words tonight.
I want to see this. Yeah, that was a bad. I want to see this. I think it'll be good, but a little bit later than it should have came out. I think what they expect is not what they'll get, which to me will make it a bomb, which I guess defines what it'll be. Gotta stop saying the bomb. But I think, as Joe was saying earlier, Wonder Woman 84, I think that's gonna bomb compared to what I think to what they think will happen for it is not what's gonna happen.
You think they think they're gonna do Captain Marvel money and it's not.
They think they're gonna double Captain Marvel movie. Like,
oh wow,
I don't know. I think
TJ, I think I'm gonna.
Or do you
think I think I'm in agreement with you there, though. Not like as a full-on bomb.
I think
it's gonna do less than the first one, and especially since there's been they didn't strike while the Wonder Woman Iron was hot of that first movie. Like, they waited.
They also let that really forgettable Justice League movie come out in between.
Yeah, and like the whole like switcheroo with everything's happening. I get like Shazam was great, and like Aquaman was fine, and like
Shazam was good, but nobody like remembers. It's not like people are like, yeah, still talking about Shazam.
So I just think like
it's fun.
The 80s
I bought it on Black Friday.
The 80s thing is spent, and all you're writing off of now is the Wonder Woman Patty Jenkins combo that you got the first, which I love the first one.
Personally, I'm more excited for Kristen Wiig as Cheetah. That's my big thing.
She's gonna be great.
She'll meet Michelle Pfeiffer from Batman Returns.
I think your prediction will either be yes or no, depending on how Birds of Prey does, because it's kind of the same logic. It's the same logic in the sense that that one.
I think Birds of Prey is much more likely to fail.
I think Birds of Prey
super away from Suicide Squad, so it's super removed, kind of like Wonder Woman.
I think Birds of Prey has that. Yeah, the one thing about Birds of Prey that has me think like it's not gonna I don't think it's gonna bomb compared to what they spent on it because I don't think it costs as much. But also, it's one of those like weird movies that is it rated R? Does anyone know off the bat?
Not sure. I don't think it is, but it's Margot Robbie and skimpy shorts. So
maybe it falls into like a Deadpool type of area where like you get that like anti-hero crowd. They're like, "Fuck heroes," but I want to see Harley Quinn swing a fucking sword.
You cannot discount the strength of Joker coming off that too. So, like, there's that they're not tied together, but that vibe is still out there for that content.
And they mentioned
to it.
And they mentioned the Joker in the trailer, so TJ got a hard on real quick when they said that,
Sure. So TJ, what are the characters that you think anyone would be relatable to, like the last decade's characters of the future?
Ooh,
I thought people were gonna pick Artemis Fowl.
What is that?
Oh, I absolutely saw that again, and I was like, as I was scrolling through it, I was like, this isn't even worth my time to talk about. This shit is gonna bomb so fucking hard.
I know,
and you ruined it for Artemis Fowl.
So basically, guys, we got through an entire decade. This is our first show of the new decade. We talk movies a lot, and we like characters because we're all a bunch of fucking characters.
Oh, we're just a couple of characters.
We're just having a silly goose fucking time. Now,
New boot goofing.
yeah, I have a question for you guys. Who, over the last decade of film, has been your favorite characters to revisit, seeing sequels, see attached to other films and franchises, which probably no one has? And then, segue, another question. In these future movies that are already slated, maybe we know characters that could be in it. We hope characters will be in these films. But who will be your favorite for the next decade? So, one, favorite character of the last decade. Two, favorite character of the next decade. And Joe, we'll start with you with your favorite character of this decade.
Okay, so it's a combo because I feel like it's a bread and butter situation. I'm going with Janko and Schmidt from the 21 and 22 Jump Street series. 21 and 22 Jump Street are full of life. I think those are really fun characters that Jonah Hill and what was the fucking name? Seth
Channing Tatum.
And Channing Tatum
Like
put together. And I don't know, just thinking about the past decade, and they're the characters. Like, yeah, we got two great movies out of them, and I would love to see them again. As far as
I'm bummed that we didn't get the Men in Black crossover. That would have been. I was like, especially after seeing what we did get with Men in Black International, like it should have been Liam Neeson just recruiting them and them trying to become Men in Black. That should have been the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like fucking just Jonah Hill being Jonah Hill on screen and then having a back and forth with Tommy Lee Jones? And then like Will Smith and Channing Tatum just being the suave
I'm saying, even if you just want to bring back Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, and you just went with Liam Neeson, who was the dude who was in the new one, who's basically the big name.
Yeah.
Like, fine, just do that then. Like,
I can just imagine. I could just also imagine like a Channing Tatum on like a hysterical rant about the aliens. You know, being like, wait, there's just like the way his character is. I don't know.
Throw it out as he could.
So that's my pick. Honestly, I don't have one for the next decade because who the hell knows what movies are going to be out.
We'll do this. We'll go.
Well, just like what in this next year, what's been announced? Is there any character that you think is going to be interesting to you?
Yeah, the lead of Mulan.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's legit.
Yeah. I think she has. I really hope that that excels, and we then have more.
You're so woke.
But do you think?
Get woke, go broke, Disney. You only had 7 movies that crossed $1 billion this year, losers.
What about you, Brian? What do you got?
I'm so fucking predictable, but man, you know who my favorite character of this decade was. It was Caesar from the Planet of the Apes franchise.
Yep.
Fucking one of the greatest character arcs, one of the best sci-fi trilogies of recent memory, and legitimately not only was his performance great, but every movie also furthered the art of motion capture and the technology of motion capture and like how far you can take it and how much. I mean, in that third movie, he's the protagonist of like this hardcore war movie where he's like a prisoner and shit and he's getting tortured and like there's so much pathos in it and stuff and like and all that sells through the face of that chimpanzee. It's underrated, highly underrated, and I'll never stop talking about how fucking good it is.
No, I was watching the very first one earlier, Rise, for like a good hour, and I'm sitting there and you just think about like how the animation. If you watch it from where it started out, I think it was like 2011 to where it ended. Even if the CGI and the motion capture isn't as clean in the first one, there's nothing taken away from the character Caesar to the third one.
No, he has a great arc in the first movie. I mean, if they only ever got to make the first one, it would have been a really great solid character arc for him, but the fact that it got to go on, and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is like my Empire Strikes Back. That movie's so fucking good. It's
dude,
incredible.
That movie's so good that I remember it was like early in our relationship, and I took Laura to go see, and she had no idea what they were. Like, monkeys make her uncomfortable like that, and she was like, "Oh, that movie was phenomenal."
Yeah, it's also like it's one of those things where like you ruin it with like Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. Now there's too much human element. There was just enough human element in it with not great actor.
Every movie's a new set of humans because that's not who we're there for. We're there to follow these apes and stuff, you know? It's just...
I like James Franco, and I'm just glad he lasted one film, because eventually you'd get too much James fucking Franco.
Yeah. Perfect amount of Franco in this franchise. Joe, I think we're to you. Oh, no, sorry.
Oh, no.
My upcoming character, let me hit that other question. My favorite... It's an easy pick. The dad pants from that Pixar movie Onward, where it's just Dad and he's just pants. That's going to be my favorite character for sure.
I like that.
Wait, hold on. Explain this to me again.
There's a new Pixar movie coming out called Onward. And it's basically like Lord of the Ringsy, like a fantasy world, but like everything's kind of modernish too. You know what I mean? So, you got orcs or elves, but they're driving around in vans, and unicorns are eating out of trash cans and stuff like that. It's like a weird modern world, but with fair. It's like Pixar's Bright,
Okay.
And the guy tries to bring his dad back to life, and he only gets him halfway up, and he's just pants. So Dad Pants is my pick.
Okay, and 100% I'm on that movie because of that.
Yeah.
100%.
Also, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, I think, is the mom and the voice of the mom.
So what's that movie coming out with Will Ferrell and Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
Oh, that's it's like a remake of a French movie. I think it's going to be good. It's like a French comedy. I think it's going to be really funny.
I think it was called Downey or something like that. It was on. I was looking at it. I was like, that'll flop because.
It'll flop, but I think it'll be one of those ones I buy on DVD later.
What's that movie that he did where he sells all the stuff on the front yard?
Oh, Everything Must Go?
Yeah, it's going to be like that.
That wasn't funny at all.
Yeah, it'll be like that. What about you, Jusef?
I really like Stranger Than Fiction.
Phenomenal. That one's really good.
I meant your characters.
I thought Brian was going to pick the French lady from Climax as his favorite character of the decade. But, I was just swinging a miss. I didn't understand the question, so I picked Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean,
that's my favorite character.
That's a great character, though. You can be your favorite.
Yeah, I like how...
creepy, though.
Yeah, how uniquely creepy and psychotic he is. Like, they could have... Like, if you see a picture of him, you think he would be like this weakling outcast, and how he controlled the narrative in any situation just out of his pure energy and control of his verbal onslaught, that he would just attack either Rene Russo or Rami or even Bill Paxton. Like, the way he just controls his entire world around him based on how he talks and his eyes and his movement. It was just like he was one of the most captivating characters and performances that I saw this decade. So I think I really love that character. And as for what's up?
I just want to talk about Nightcrawler real quick, even though I talked about it last week. An embodiment of that character, and that's such a good pick. That might be the best character that's actually been picked this whole time. Is the dinner scene when he takes out Rene Russo and that conversation, and just the way he manipulates her and threatens her back. It's so fucking creepy, but so effective. And that scene is like the pinnacle scene of that movie. And it's all Jake Gyllenhaal and a fucking badass Rene Russo, but at the same time, that's just like, I recently just kind of watched just that scene, and I forgot I never forgot how good that movie is. That was like my favorite movie of the fucking decade, I think, or one of them. So anyway, great pick.
I was gonna say, even the way he on top of the Rene Russo thing is how he manipulates Riz Ahmed throughout the whole entire thing, having the car, telling him you shot this. We're gonna need huge money for this, but you gotta be here. You gotta that whole thing where you're just you're trying to get up in the thing, and just having even a creep. Jake Gyllenhaal in that role was fucking so creepy, but having that guy pump you up like that, his self-confidence and just the way he played the character was fucking insane.
so motivating at the same time. You're like, I'm motivated by this creepy asshole.
Like, wait a minute, what? Come to work for me every day, please, and just help me get one day.
Jusef, who was your
So my next pick for character, it was a sneaky way of talking about another movie I'm excited about, and that is Mank. It's directed by David Fincher, and it's the story behind the making of Citizen Kane, and it's actually the story about how the screenwriter got into this, like, I don't want to call it a legal battle, but it was an ongoing battle with Orson Welles to get the credit for the screenplay. So it was just this back and forth between Orson Welles and I think Mac Markinson. I forgot.
Oh, dude, that sounds that sounds
I love when people play Orson Welles in things. So
yeah, but
that movie though sounds.
Gary Oldman plays Herman Mank, and I'm not gonna say the rest of the last name because I'm gonna butcher it. And he's the screenwriter that's trying to get the credit for Citizen Kane. I really love when people go and do autobiographies, but they do it like about a very specific moment in their lives.
It's the best way to do them.
Stan and Ollie was like that, yeah.
That was
I'm kind of looking forward to that one.
John C.
And David Fincher, fucking David Fincher is coming back to the big screen, so I'm excited.
Yeah, it's nice that any David Fincher, you know the movie's going to look great anyway.
It's
Zodiac.
Hitter. It's just fucking hit after hit. Anyway, so we're gonna jump right in. It's Nicolas Cage.
I didn't get mine yet, bro.
You didn't?
No.
What is yours? Sorry.
No, cut it for time.
Fuck. Cut it for time. Who was Joe's again? Let's talk about that again.
You motherfuckers. Real quick, I'm gonna give you a shout out to one, just like everyone's probably John Wick is probably one of the greatest characters.
Wow.
Trilogy. That's an easy one, but that's not it.
Yeah, that's easy. That's good.
My next easy one was not easy one, was Sharni Vincent, Aaron from Your Next. That South Wales. Oh, it's so fucking good. But my favorite character of the decade is I'm gonna fucking butcher it. Sang-Hwa, Train to Busan, the guy who fucking tapes telephone fucking.
That dude's in the Eternals. That's coming out this year. That dude's gonna be in the Eternals.
There is not one character because guys, if we're on a train, us four, who's gonna be the guy who tapes the telephone books to his fucking forearms and leads the pack?
Alpha. The Alpha, baby.
The guy who blacked out midway through.
But he did have those books taped to his arm, so to be fair.
Involved in this. It's just going to be TJ.
TJ's going to survive the fucking...
Like, you've ever gotten on
He's going to be locked in the bathroom.
He's going to be sleeping through it in the on the bathroom floor.
Jay,
nobody's going to find him there.
But, like, you've ever gotten on public transit in a train and not had a drink?
Look, man, that's not a part of the question. What I'm saying is, if there were zombies between me and you guys, I just want you all three to know that I would put telephone books on my forearms and fight them for you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate
my upcoming character that I feel like everyone just fucking dropped the ball on. It's an obvious answer. He got fucking revitalized and remade. Sonic.
Oh, the $6 Million Man remake?
Sonic the fucking Hedgehog. No Mark Wahlberg. We don't need that cocksucker in our fucking things. It's going to be Sonic the fucking Hedgehog. Alright?
Oh, that looks so
good.
I'm going to speed...
Ben Schwartz?
Yeah, Ben Schwartz is hysterical, and I'm glad I'm going to speed into our next topic.
What I had an honorable mention.
What is it?
I wanted to say that he's a terrible person in the movie, but much like Jusef, I love the portrayal. It's Jack Rayner as Christian, the boyfriend from Midsommar. It might be recency bias because I just watched that movie twice, but that dude is so good at playing the shittiest boyfriend I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like accurately portrayed shitty boyfriend, not like a dude with his collar popped who's like, come on, babe, let's get out of here. Don't be such a bitch. This guy was like passive aggressive. He was gaslighting. He was a slime ball to his friends. He was so good. And I've seen that actor in a couple other things. He's in
Street.
Free Fire, which is he's in. And I always think that he looks like a cross between Seth Rogen and Chris Pratt. And but
100%.
But anyway, that guy, I was just like thinking about characters that stuck with me, and I was like, that dude's performance stuck with me.
You were fucking complaining that I recommended Climax, but who recommended Midsummer? So fuck
everybody recommended Midsummer.
Oh, you said I recommended. Come on.
Anyway, Joe, aren't you about ready for that next topic?
Hey guys, we got a game. It's called it's Nicolas Cage's birthday. Happy birthday to my deity.
You're not dead, but big ups to you anyway.
Yeah, so
I think she's going down, but anyway.
All right, so I just want to explain the rules to the viewers. It's called Cage or Travolta. A lot of these guys are in the straight-to-video releases, and this is
the real money in.
Yeah, so there's 9 questions, 1 wild card question. It's either an actor who does the same type of film, not Cage or Travolta. It's either Cusack or Bruce Willis. It's randomly thrown in. I'm gonna give a description of the movie, and if you get the actor right with just the description, it's 2 points. If you need me to tell you the title, which you still wouldn't know probably, it'll be 1 point.
Okay.
You have to wait, though. I want to make it clear. You have to wait till I finish.
These rules are so convoluted. Can I get some kind of graphic on the screen that, prints them out? Maybe in, a metallic font or something?
Sure. Actually, Joe, we should do it one by one because it's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
If somebody screams out, so give a description for people.
So,
it's 9, so each of us gets 2, 3.
Okay.
Oh, man.
That's true.
All right, so we'll just do it that way.
Okay?
So I'll start with Jusef.
Mr. Smart Idea guy over here.
Question 1. Inspired by classic film noir, Carson Phillips, an ex-football star turned PI, has a soft spot for a lady in distress.
Travolta.
Ding, ding.
Yeah, that name is too normal for it to be a Cage character.
Oh, it's Carson Wentz. That's what it sounded like.
Okay.
So you know where Carson Wentz is gonna go? He's gonna be a PI.
Okay. So TJ.
Yes.
3 strangers lit. Oh, that's also, by the way, the movie's called The Poison Rose.
That wouldn't have helped me at all.
No. All right. So, TJ, 3 strangers' lives are inevitably entangled in a conflict none of them are prepared for.
This is straight to DVD.
Every one of them.
3 Strangers' Lives. Now, which one of these actors was actually going to give the screen up to 2 other people? That's the question. Travolta does it a lot. Cage does it a lot. Fuck. Could this
or it could be a wild card.
Could this be the wild card?
Don't forget about the wild card. It's in there.
Oh, the wild card is gonna be in any round.
3 people. Okay. I'm gonna do myself a little favor here. I'm gonna do a little. Give me the title. I'm gonna take a negative point on this.
Okay.
One. It'll benefit at the end.
Kill Chain.
That didn't help.
Oh, I know.
That's such a terrible fucking name too. Oh my god. That's the worst.
Kill Chain. Okay. For some reason, I keep thinking about a football player, but I know that was the first one.
All right,
bang. We're just gonna go. Nicolas Cage.
All right, boom.
Yeah.
1 point for TJ.
I'm gonna tell you, I've been guessing in my mind. I'm not doing well.
All right, so this is a longer description. Veteran race car driver Sam Monroe and his son, a fellow driver from a small town, overcome family and professional conflicts, balancing competition, ego, resentment, and a racing nemesis to come out stronger on the other side.
Wow.
And the thing is, it's you can picture either one of them on the cover of this DVD, kind of looking out the window while some dirt flies up as they're turning a corner, and probably the son's head is smaller over here or something.
They both look so good driving cars.
I know. I don't even want to. I'd rather have two guess and maybe get 2 points to get it wrong with one. I'm going to go with Cage.
It's Travolta.
See, I'm not good. I'm not good.
So that's off the board.
I only respect movies that go to the theater.
That is Trading Paint.
You know what? For some reason, I thought about that, and then I was like, no, you're confusing it with that boat racing one.
Oh, so, I watched that one. Speed Kills. That's not.
Speed Kills.
How many of these fucking titles are just 2 words?
All right, so Jusef, back to you. A man is out for justice after a group of corrupt police officers unable to catch his wife's killer.
Cage.
Nope, I know what this is.
Did you say?
Cage.
That is Travolta. The film is
wow.
The film is I Am Wrath.
I Am Wrath.
No fuck. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
These fucking titles, man.
So
I Am Wrath.
So
I Am Wrath.
So far, Jusef's in the lead.
Sounds like a movie that would have starred Henry Rollins.
So, all right, TJ, the CEO.
The only guy who scored a point, by the way, TJ, right now. This is the first time. I think this is the first time. No, awesome.
Got you, boy.
All right. So, TJ, the CEO of an international conglomerate sends 2 of his most regarded executives to investigate why shipments of cocaine are being hijacked and overcut somewhere on the supply chain.
I want to steal this one.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to throw in the wild card. John Cusack.
Was it Bruce Willis?
It's Cage, and it's Running with the Devil.
I'm not good.
Nice.
I'm terrible at this game.
All right, Brian.
So 2-1-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still at 0.
This is probably the best game I've ever made. So, Brian, you're a crime thriller that centers around a man whose memory has been lost due to a bank heist gone wrong. The character will need to piece together the missing 10 minutes from his memory in order to determine who sabotaged him.
Jesus Christ.
This is Cusack. This is a Cusack.
Oh, you were so close. It's called 10 Minutes Gone, and it stars Bruce Willis.
It was the wild card. I want 1 point for knowing it was the wild card. I should get 1 point just for knowing it wasn't a Cage or Travolta. Where's my pity point? Give me my pity point.
I didn't get a pity point.
You call him TJ points.
Jusef. A rabid film fan stalks his favorite action hero and destroys the star's life.
Travolta.
Oh, yeah, that's not fair. That's this guy who just came out and everybody was talking about it and shit.
That's a too. That's not fair.
All right.
That's like if you give Mandy to TJ now.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize everyone was familiar with the Fanatic. Jeez. All right.
Cry, baby.
Zac Efron got?
TJ. So now it's 4-1, but
So I don't have a chance to win, huh?
No, nobody's got a chance. You might as well just move on to the next thing. We're running.
Well, can I just read
this
the rest
game?
of these descriptions?
This game sucks. Cut it. I'm mad at it. So let's cut it.
A town is struck by a meteorite, and the fallout is catastrophic.
Meteorite. I feel like Cage is the only one. Actually, Battlefield Earth. Fuck. Both these guys are awful at picking movies. They need to find their ages. Nic Cage.
It's Nic Cage. It's called Color of Outer Space.
Yes.
Nice.
So Brian, would you like you're the last pick.
Why don't I just bow out and let these guys fight it out or whatever they need to do?
I already won.
I mean,
no, you didn't.
I got 4.
This, I can win.
I just want to ask the last question.
Yeah, ask it to me. Ask it to me.
All
right, TJ, I'm going to give you an opportunity.
Give the last question and let TJ get. If he can get it, he can beat Jusef.
Yeah,
tie him.
Yeah, an ex-enforcer for a local crime syndicate has vowed to enact retribution on his mob bosses after 19 years of wrongful imprisonment. The only thing diverting his violent plans as a newfound relationship to his beloved son?
Steven Seagal.
Could be.
John Travolta.
It's Cage. It's called a 4-7.
I would have gotten every one of these wrong. I thought that was Travolta too. I was like, that sounds like a Travolta to me.
Oh, Jusef is the winner, and this is the best game I've ever made.
It's up there with
Well, in another 6 months, we'll be able to play again because they'll each have done 8 more movies.
Oh, this is coming back. This is coming back.
An evergreen game. And talking about evergreen, how about we talk about the evergreen cult classic, fucking Harold and Maude, the best movie of the podcast, 2020.
Be free.
Cat Stevens soundtrack of the year.
Toyota commercial you never wanted to see.
Hey, man.
What does that even mean, man?
Because they use that song in like every car commercial.
But it was written for this movie, so it's good when it's in this movie.
Cool. Facts.
You fucking cultured asshole. 1974. Am I missing this?
You're the host.
I don't know. I put a resolution for 2020 in this podcast because these assholes always say that I pick safe movies. So I'm decided to pick either
you picked a legitimate classic.
I decided to pick movies that I think at least 2 out of the 3 have not seen, and I hit it because Joe and TJ had never seen this movie. That way, I'm introducing a new movie to them, and it's not.
You should probably, since maybe some of our listeners haven't seen it, maybe you should give them a quick rundown of what the movie is.
Yes. So the movie centers around Harold, a young boy going through.
He's actually in his early 20s. He's not a young boy. He's in his early 20s.
I mean, I wanted to say young in comparison to his co-star, but that's fine. People can interrupt me.
Also, Bud Cort looks like a child in this. He looks like he's about 16, but he is supposed to be in his like early 20s.
I don't give a shit if he's a man. That's boy syndrome, bro.
Yeah, he's a weird looking dude.
All right, so how about we set it up? Harold, a young-ish man, we can settle on that. Going through depression, meets a spry old woman named Maude, she's very and her outlook in life is very contagious and is very live in the moment, and he's obsessed with death. And they meet in a funeral together, and they spark a friendship, and slowly but surely, his outlook in life starts to become more brighter, and they form a romantic relationship together. That's kind of the gist of the movie.
That's pretty good. That's a good description of it.
So I already know TJ's feelings just because his face doesn't.
Let's get some initial reactions, from these guys.
Okay.
Give them some space to breathe and make them feel like it's fine. Whatever they think is fine. Now, my wife did say she will personally be judging anyone who didn't like this movie. So she was like, she was literally just like, well, anybody who doesn't like this is dumb. So if anybody on your podcast didn't like this, they're dumb. I was like, wow, damn.
Your wife has
Not only do I have Brian on my corner, I got Sarah as well. All right, Joe, what do you think about this movie?
I'm not talking.
This was
initial reaction.
This was a movie that I saw why it's a cult movie, and I'm glad I visited the cult for a day trip, but I don't want to join. It's it was like I got it. I was really fully on board more towards the end of the movie. The last half hour bought in. Some points were just a little too weird for me. It was a very it's a weird movie to pick because I get its cultness of it. If that makes sense.
It's a really counterculture movie. Especially if you watch any of the kind of behind the scenes stuff on it. It's very heavily influenced by that late 60s, early 70s kind of counterculture hippie. I made fun of beards, but I mean, Cat Stevens and fucking Hal Ashby both look like they just stepped off of the set of a bad, sitcom about the 60s. They look like a Tommy Chong character and shit,
Yeah. So I don't know. I definitely not for me, but I didn't hate it. I'm glad I watched it.
TJ, you hated it.
It's an initial reaction.
That's my initial reaction,
I've never ever said I hated it. I had a couple questions though.
No. But tell me what's up. Why your face?
Just simple questions. Lead character, Garrett Holtby.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
Harold
Goltby. Mm-hmm. He wasn't the kid from Children of the Corn, right?
No,
that was about.
And he's not Malcolm McDowell from
the
Disco. Okay.
No.
No, I mean, what did you?
It's a hard movie to talk about.
No.
It's not a hard movie to talk about, guys.
John, you want
I'll talk about it for a second.
No, my notes.
Here you go. I understand the message of the movie. The darkness you see in yourself isn't compared to the darkness that it is in somebody else, but the light you see in them overshadows it. I get it. The whole movie's fucking so sad and over the top. Look, man, you said the kid's depressed. That's not depressed. That's a serial killer hiding inside of a fucking young 12-year-old boy.
He's an incel.
I love the gallows humor in this. The fucking the fake suicides. All Harold's little tricks and scams. I love them.
But they explain why he's doing those elaborate suicides. It's
one moment, moment.
That's
because this movie's tight. It's a tight 90 minutes. They don't waste time. They don't tread water.
They explain how his mother thought that he died in that school accident. And that's literally the only moment the mom expressed any feelings or any emotions towards his son. So he's been trying to fucking recreate that feeling, that emotional response from his detached mother that doesn't give a fuck about him. And he's depressed in a corner. That I know it's but it's hilarious.
He just wants to marry him off to some broad.
You learn some fucking karate, you come back home, you inherit the mansion, you put on a black mask, you have a cape, and you become Batman. You know what this kid fucking did? He committed suicide 14 fucking times, but didn't have the heart, or the guts to actually go through with it.
He didn't want to die. He didn't want to kill himself. He wanted to react.
Yeah, I know.
He wanted to
show us
something.
Like 17 fucking times.
Dude, but I was watching this movie with my wife. My wife.
Mine hated it.
It was also her first viewing, and she was like, "Oh wait, this is a movie about suicide." In the beginning, when he like hangs himself, and I was like just staring at her, waiting for him to like start fake coughing, and I just slowly saw her face change. She's like, "Wait, he's alive?" And I'm like waiting for it to like kind of capture the moment of her realizing like this is a prank on his mom, and she never got it. Like, I had to explain it to her.
It's like perfect. Like that opening scene is actually a really good scene.
It's just so well
following the feet, and then the anger of him pushing up that one piece and breaking it, and then going and dropping off the thing. But like I'll tell you what. It's not a bad movie. Like Joe was saying, it's just like it's a taste thing. And also I love dark comedy. There's not like it doesn't miss me. It just wasn't like I don't know if like the time period 74 like my mind's a little bit darker than it. So like when I at the first hanging and it went down and the next thing you see is him, probably his best one is the blood. The slitted throat when he's in the bathtub.
Oh no way! When he self-immolates is the best one.
No,
that's
I disagree.
Girls watching out the window and he's like all set. You just keep seeing him set it up in the background. And he's got the sheet. He pulls the sheet and he's like pouring the gas on.
Like
and then just as he goes up and she's flipping out, he walks in like it's
but I was gonna say, like,
good.
I got
the best part of the movie, which got me, the mom. When she just walks in, answers the phone as he's hanging there. So you just have his like corner shot of like his head hanging, cocked, and she's just on the phone, looks at him on the phone, little fucking back and forth with him, and you still think, even like someone for me who just saw it, I'm thinking the motherfucker's dying, really, because the over powdered face they did to him throughout this entire movie, where he's just, if whiteface was a thing, he's doing it. He's doing the boy from, what's that movie, Joe? I know you love that fucking movie.
The Boy.
He's playing the doll from The Boy.
The Boy. He's playing Jared Kushner.
Yeah, it's all it is. Like the whole time.
Oh yeah. So, yo, I got notes. I'm just gonna read them. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about in the movie. I started midway through my notes. Girl number 2, Edith, that the mom brings in. She's hot.
Edith was hot. I was into Edith too.
Yeah.
She had kind of that
mousy
thing
first
going.
one.
She was hot.
Yeah.
The first one has a corsage with an ice cream sundae on it.
Yeah,
I was going to say that accentuated the chesticle area, and I was very not bad.
And then number 2 note is this movie's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Number 3, the uncle really likes war. Def works for Trump.
Oh, by the way,
the uncle is the best character.
When he pulls the thing and it makes his hand, his arm
I love the uncle's character.
The best.
I just have
this things in this movie.
And I also love the way Harold turns tables on him and like goes like super warmongery and like
really good.
That was a smart move. I really liked that. I actually almost wish that would have just worked. I kind of thought where they brought in Maude in that and made her a part of it. I get why they do it at that point in the movie, but like I was kind of like I kind of like just that Harold came up with that on the fly, you know?
Yeah, you can see his uncle being like, "Holy shit, this could be a bad idea for this kid."
Yeah.
You have to bring her in because at some point you'd be like,
he's all like, "And you'll teach me to stab and to kill."
He's like, "What about?"
Can I wear your skin?
Yeah, he's like, he's like. What about slitting the throat or disemboweling? He's like,
oh, what about trophies? You know, like you take an eye or
eyeballs, skulls, and how about this?
Yeah,
Harold's mom. I think Harold's
that are fun.
I think Harold's mom definitely pulled well for him for his wife search. My favorite scene.
Super technological, like it's computer dating in the 1970s.
But
my favorite scene of the whole movie is actually the scene with the actress date, and he kills himself, and she knows it's a fake knife, and like plays along with it and is super into it. Thought their shit was hysterical.
And then she does her Juliet, and it's so terrible too.
Poison.
Yeah, and she has like a lot of teeth, and she's like, "My sweet prince," and it's like, what the fuck? It's so.
She's like, "What's Harry Carey?" But you gotta think about it this way: like he literally set it up that way. But my favorite part of that scene is the creepiest part is where she walks through the doorway first, and he stands there and just kind of rocks the door back and forth at her, and then walks through because you just get that noise of like the.
Oh, he's a creepy fucking dude. And then the last
starts out, I mean, he meets the way him and Maude meet is that he goes to funerals. That's like his thing. Aside from these, it's funny. Like we didn't talk about the irony. Like the only time he ever felt emotion from his mom was when she thought he was going to die. But then he kind of like sullies that well by overdoing it and trying to evoke emotion from her with those fake suicide attempts. So in his own way, he's like. I found myself feeling as a parent, I felt for his mom at times. Like, I know you're supposed to, like, she's the bad guy and she doesn't get him. When the scene where she sits down and does his personality test for him, that's pretty great.
Oh, that's so good. And she just starts answering for herself. She's like, yeah, it's pretty good.
in the beginning, she would go like, "Don't you think, Harold?" And then she would answer for him. And then by the end, she's not even asking.
She's just not even asking at all. She's just answering for herself. Yeah.
What do you think about sex?
Himself right there.
We haven't started talking about Maude at all. We should really talk about Maude a little bit. Harold likes to go to funerals. That's his thing. And he starts seeing Maude at different funerals. Maude actually sees him first. And she starts trying to kind of get his attention and stuff. She is, I mean, Ruth Gordon, anybody, Rosemary's Baby fans out there?
Yeah, she's great.
Incredible in this. Also, no matter what you think about the movie, she's so great in it.
I just don't see it.
I love
how
Maude. I love the way she steals the cars. That's like one of my favorite things about Maude. So good.
Like because it's like a ball of it's unraveling. Like you meet her, she's offering candy in the middle of the service. Creepy. And then she's like, "Oh, we should meet again. We should do something. We're cool." And then she gets in a car and she just peels out and does an illegal turn and just drives away. And his face is like, what the fuck just happened? And then you get the reveal of the father going like, that's my fucking car. What is happening?
Don't you just take my car?
I mean, I love that bit throughout the whole movie. She just keeps stealing fucking cars, and like her with the cop is pretty funny.
Tom Skerritt, the cop, is so good.
This bitch should have been put away years ago. If she's been doing this since she was what?
Old people get away from, and you gotta remember,
she just
the 70s,
knows
they didn't even know serial killers existed yet.
Don't bring Zodiac and DVD Bunker back into this.
When she offers him a drink and he's like, "Oh, I don't drink," he's like, "Don't worry, it's organic."
It's organic, yeah.
It doesn't have any nutritional value, but it's organic. It's hilarious. But yeah, I also love like the small details in the movie. Like obviously, most of the comedy comes from the over the top suicides or from Maude being like this ball of energy. But I also love like the small details that they did, like Harold always dressing up identically as the therapist. He's always dressing up as a therapist, just kind of like mocking the situation between their power dynamic. Or Maude always with her bright yellow umbrella in the middle of the funeral where everybody's just dressed in black, and she just stands out like that. And also there's a scene where, yeah, she was a horror.
Yeah, but she had that awesome house converted from a train car. That shit was badass too. I love that.
And I love the contraption thing, the smelling device that she gives him.
Yeah,
I thought that was a great thing. But
she's playing a great like kook. You know, there's like Maude is a great like an all-time kook.
Or she's drugged.
That's a good word for her, I think.
She's roofing child.
I feel like she's like what everybody wanted to do with the manic pixie dream girl, but it just became so watered down and bastardized that it never could live up to that well-defined character that she actually is.
Manic pixie dream grandma.
Now, if I saw this remake with Helen Mirren, I'm in.
You know what this reminded me of? Actually, were you saying that, Joe? It's funny, we bring this guy up a lot. He's a great actor, and I just feel like Rob Schneider in Grown Ups, when he's dating the older woman, and she brings him to like an organic diet, I feel like it really accentuates that.
Oh, so,
like, Rob Schneider, Braden Holtby, Garrett Holtby, Jared Jolby, who's this fucking kid's name?
Well, the actor's name is Rod Court.
This reminds me of an episode of The Office where Jim, Pam, and Andy are watching bootleg movies, and it's a fake movie about Jack Black trying to fuck. I always forget the name.
It's Cloris Leachman.
Cloris Leachman. That's hilarious.
Was that in The Office?
Yeah.
But there's a scene where the psychiatrist is like, "Oh, I get it, trying to have sex with your mother, but trying to have sex with your grandma."
Well, okay, here's the question I wanted to pose to you guys. So the whole idea is that, like, you know, she sees this thing, she kind of like sees this kindred spirit, and she kind of is drawn to him, and she kind of draws him out of his shell, and it's played kind of, there's an organic kind of nature to them spending time together, but I'm going to spoil the movie here, guys. Spoilers. Her whole thing is she's coming up on her 80th birthday, and she has a plan to kill herself. Nobody knows. And you don't know. It gets dropped on you at the very end. It's a pretty big reveal. So I'm sorry, everybody out there.
She gave a big hint in the beginning.
She gives a big hint in the beginning about because she talks about how 75 is too young to go, but 85 you're just marking time.
Yeah.
She talks about that.
But she says, my 80th birthday's coming up, and I have a big surprise or some shit like that.
I respect the shit out of that.
I think, props to her move. I think she was smart. She knew and she had that plan for a long time. But my question is, it all seems fairly organic in the movie, but do you think her plan, Maude's plan, was to bang a young dude one more time before she goes?
Oh yeah.
Do you think it was just a happy benefit of like her trying to make a relationship, or do you think the point was to fuck him?
I think the point was to fuck him.
I made a joke when we were talking about yesterday about one of the drops 3 days ago, that if I don't see an explicit sex scene between these two fucking people, this movie's not worth it. I thought there was a relationship and whatever. I didn't think there would be like blowing bubbles, waking up in the morning scene.
Hell yeah, they have a full-on morning after. He wants to marry her. That's the crazy. I love that whole scene. Like, he's gonna propose to her, and she's like, "Oh no, I took the pills an hour ago. Like, I'm going. I'm going now."
And his reaction was fucking great because the whole movie, the kids being
he's emotionless.
Yeah, you're portraying darkness, but you don't know what darkness is until you see light in somebody. But the darkness in them is darker than you've ever seen. So like, oh damn, I gotta write poems. But regardless,
no, you don't.
No, you have a Twitter thread.
I gotta tell you what,
thread is for me.
That moment of that movie is she's supposed to be this fucking light, this eccentric, fucking just ball of energy, and then all of a sudden,
she brought him to life. He had been dead, and she brings him to life.
Damn, man, maybe this movie was fucking good. God damn it!
Yes, it was.
I told you, bitch. I told you.
She literally does what she did with the tree. Like, she essentially saw.
Saves him.
Fuck, man. There's there's so many stupid
She saw Harold as a dying tree. Yeah. And she told him, like, that's how I'm fighting the fight now.
And the cops trying to stop them, and the mom he's like, is she kidding me at the end? Oh, damn. Okay. Revolution.
Can I get that audio drop? I think we're ready for...
What?
I think we're ready for your...
What?
The rating.
Oh. So I wanted to talk about the end real quick. I just want to talk about the end.
I really want to talk about the end.
I'm watching the end of the movie. I've seen this movie a couple times. I own the Criterion Collection. It's in the bunker, baby. I'm watching the end, and I was thinking about how like they cut back and forth to him driving, and they show him at the hospital, and they're kind of him getting the news and him reacting, and then they do the big reveal. And he drives that sweet ass. We didn't even talk about the Jaguar that he converts to the hearse. So fucking good. That was a one of a kind. They converted that one of a kind. And they really destroyed it for the movie when they drive up, so it does not exist anymore. Oh, so sweet.
Genius.
And then you pan up and you see him up on the hill, and he's playing his banjo, and he's walking away, and he's got a little kick to his step. And I was thinking about it, I was like, if this movie came out now, if they made a movie like this now, from the time he learns about her death to the end of the movie, there would be a half hour of him melancholy and and moaning, and long shots of him.
You need to look at the banjo
but the way they cut it between his reaction and him driving, and then you see the final big kind of over the top gesture, and then you see that he's going to be okay, and that he is still the light of Maude has carried him through this dark moment.
He essentially
carry that on. All that is told with no dialogue in about 5 minutes, and I was just thinking about how pretentious it would be if it was made right now, and how overwrought it would be.
Well, think about it this way: they would
with Adam Driver crying and punching the wall, and he would just be
It would be all of his fake suicides would be way over the top.
Yeah, it would be unrealistic. Some kind of at least all the stuff he does is feasible.
Yeah, I mean it wouldn't even come out because people would have banned it because it's sexualizing or fantasizing suicide or whatever.
Or does that thing show Maude's deaths first and then go all the way backwards? You know what I mean? Just fucking rewind it. Man.
But that ending is so powerful because it's like Brian said, they didn't mince words, they didn't add anything. It's super lean in the sense that we see Harold literally throw over the edge his perspective and his point of view and his obsession with death, and embrace what Maude taught him with him just playing out the banjo and embracing life. And
it's we talk often about, we use the term tight, and this is such a tight.
It is a tight movie.
It was a really solid.
I gotta say, I did get mad at the end because I did think I was like, you tell me I watched an hour and a half movie to watch 2 people commit suicide when half this movie is about suicide. I'm real upset, and I'm like, and then as soon as it started going up, I'm like, okay. And then he just does the whole movie in the background. Okay. I'm with it.
So how about we go to the rating?
Just for a second, got to talk about the Cat Stevens soundtrack, man. It kills. It that was my slaps.
It's
so good.
I wrote
it's so fucking soundtrack good, slaps. And I didn't realize, I knew, I've heard of Cat Stevens, Jusef Islam. Sorry, not you, Jusef, but Jusef Islam. Changed his name. And I'd heard of him, and I knew some of the songs. I'd heard the songs before. I didn't realize he wrote these songs for the movie, but in such a way where he just like. This is why I say it was like such a hippie counterculture kind of feel and vibe when they were making this. Like he just like hung out on set, and he would like play and watch and like read. He read the script and he would kind of watch, and he would like come up with like a line or two, the chorus. He would go and play it for Hal Ashby, and Hal Ashby would be like, "Yeah, I like that." And then he would just go write the song. And then they recorded like the rough edits and just put them in the movie. He was like, I didn't even get to finish the songs. They recorded me doing my demos, and that's what's in the movie. And it's so good. It's so stripped down and simple.
So when him and Maude are doing the first sing-along on the Cat Stevens song, it's just an original song.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, well, I think Cat Stevens wrote it, but they're singing it. It was original for the movie.
But it wasn't like it wasn't a radio 70s song.
Not before that, it wasn't.
That's fucking dope. I like that. That's cool.
Alright,
That's a nice tidbit.
The rating phase.
Now we're ready for the crazy taxi.
Joe, since you're the least enthusiastic, how about you hit us up with your...
This is, for me, it's a 7.8 prosthetic hands out of 10.
Ooh.
That's pretty good. That's like, I feel like you're acknowledging its classic status and giving it like a 2-point bump from how you actually feel about it.
Yeah, I can acknowledge its place in history and still not be like...
It is fully a cult classic. I say classic, it's cult for sure.
Is this considered one of the first cult classics?
No, cult classics have been around since like.
How about you, TJ? I feel we've swayed you a little.
Yeah, you did. I'm gonna give this one a clean 7.5. Women falling through a cement dock over a nice sea visual. I think that was. I gotta say, I think if I saw this with you guys as a group, I'd enjoy it more. But watching by myself, it was like super melancholy and dark. And then there's parts it brings you up. But I'm just like, if I had more people around me, I think it would be better. But like talking about it with you guys, definitely made it go bang.
I have one note about this movie that you kind of just reminded me of. It's definitely a movie like that, and a lot of cult movies are like that, where you have to be in such a right mood to watch it.
Yeah,
that it will.
That's fair.
But also, again, you guys all knew that I went into this wanting to hate this movie.
Yeah,
skeptical to say the least.
Yeah. So that I think affects it altogether. Like if you're like forced to watch this, like essentially we had to watch this for class, I see how it could lower a score on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy I introduced this movie to you guys. Brian, where are you going with your rating?
Oh man, for me, this is one of those ones I heard of before I ever saw it. It's like when I was first getting into movies, the people that made the movies would talk about it. You heard about it on. They reference it in something about Mary. I remember hearing Kevin Smith talk about it. Just stuff I was watching as a kid, but and so it drew you in. And then it's one of those ones that it had a little bit of a reputation. I think it 100% for me lived up to that, and it gets a little bit better every time I watch it, and I enjoyed it even a little bit more. I give this like a 9.5. Like I said, I think in my tweet, I referred to it as a diamond, and that's true. It's like the pressures of the 60s and 70s kind of like coalesced and made this like perfect little movie to just kind of represent this little emotional diamond. Just big ping, and it just popped out,
That's very nice.
And I also like how his face gets less white throughout the movie.
It's life.
Almost like he's coming back to life.
Into him.
So I'm gonna give it a 9. Army veterans falling in the backdrop in the leaves out of 10. That's another gag that always makes me laugh. I don't know why. But yeah, I think it's a great movie. Give it a shot. Maybe you'll land in the diamond like Brian, or maybe you'll land in the what the fuck is happening like my wife. But at least you give it a shot. TJ,
broaden your horizons. Try new things. They might taste good.
Bring those pills, baby. TJ, what are you going to make us watch?
All right, boys. We've had some good movies these last couple weeks. Black Christmas, Harold and Maude, I got to admit. But I'm going to play a little game real fast. I got 5 movies. I get all the Rotten Tomato scores. So I'm going to go one by one by one, and we're going to do maybe 2 quick rounds. If no one even hits one, if anyone hits one on the head, we're doing that movie right off the bat. So if Joe hits it,
Cool.
Bang, we're playing it. So Joe, you're going to go first. I got 5 movies, so 1 to 55. Rate
34.
Nothing. Jusef, what do you got?
19.
Nothing. Brian, what do you got?
This one's been rattling around my head. 38.
Nothing. Joe, what do you got?
8.
Nothing. Jusef?
24.
Nothing. Brian?
44.
All right, so now what we're going to do now is, because Brian didn't hit that, we're going to do Price is Right rules. Anyone closest without going over is going to nail. So I'm going to do all 3 of your scores. Whoever's closest without going over, that's what we're going to do. So, Joe, give me yours.
21.
21. Jusef, give me yours.
1.
Boo, boo. It's a strategy.
Look at his friend.
I'm going to go with 41.
Ooh, so Brian hit it on the fucking head. So if we didn't fucking... Yeah, so Brian hit one on the head. So if we didn't do this and Brian didn't hit it, Jusef, we would have ended up with Happy Madison's Strange Wilderness.
Oh, that movie's so bad.
Is that Steve Zahn and Patton Oswalt?
Yeah, it's unwatchable. I've seen it.
I've seen it. I think I've seen it.
It's not funny.
What's the rating on that one?
Now, because Brian hit it on the fuck... Oh, so that rating was 2%.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
So because Brian picked 41%, we are going to watch the late, great Paul Walker's Running Scared.
Yes! I love that movie.
Yep.
That movie's phenomenal.
I'm pretty sure you
Well,
said...
Joe and TJ like it. That's not a good sign.
So I'm thinking,
I've seen it.
You seen it? Okay, so Brian has not seen it.
I've never seen it. I'm coming in.
I love that fucking movie.
You got
TJ,
Peter Stormare. I'm pretty sure it's in that.
Formiga.
Yeah.
All right, we're running scared till next episode.
TJ, I hope we'll watch that movie.
Thank you for joining us. As always, we got TJ at TJ Deck, Joe at Chendango, Brian at Hercules, and Jusef at Wildlife Movies. Bye. I love you so much, like every YouTuber. I love you.
2020.
Oh, I just love you. I'm so thankful for you guys.
Thank you.
Donate to my Patreon. Help me pay my bills.
Oh, I know you like my free content. Would you like to pay for the same stuff, but it comes out less reliably? Great.
I'll send you some feet pics.
Oh, no.